Hi, everybody. Welcome to Market Force Essentials, where we're here to talk to you about being excellent always. And the best way we know to do that is taking a look at the tools that we know, sharing what we know about them, and connecting with people in general. So I'm really excited to be here tonight to talk to you with the founder of Market Force, Travis Carson. Travis, would you like to say hello to everybody?
Hi, everybody.
Awesome. So what Travis and I are going to do is just have a little conversation based on what's going on in the world and what we're experiencing with our clients. And it really is about focusing on what we're finding to be essential, both in our own personal practices and with working with others. So Travis, tell me a little bit about what you're finding is essential for you right now.
Yeah, maybe the first thing, Karen, is the idea that with what we're going through right now, it's like something none of us have ever seen. I think we can all obviously acknowledge that, but there are some of us that were in the eye of the storm of a recession, 12, 13 years ago. And I was one of those people. Company I owned at the time was real estate development and syndication. And I was in the middle of it. I mean, between financial services and commercial real estate, residential real estate, those are some of the hardest hit areas. Living in Arizona, I was just right in the middle of it. And it was a really hard year. It was the first year of my first daughter's life. And it was probably one of the darkest kind of years that I've had in my career. Lost a property to the bank, went through some things that, when we talk about this game of business not being life or death, I hope that never comes across as trite or trivial, because the game is hard and it definitely does have real world consequences. And I experienced that firsthand 12, 13 years ago. And so one of the things that I'm finding really essential right now is I'm trying to share that perspective with a lot of the folks that I work with, Karen, and just really connect people to this idea of, number one, this won't last forever. Okay. When I was in the middle of that year, 13 years ago, every day was long and hard. I was exhausted. Trying not to make a joke about it, but I lost a lot of my hair during that period of time. And I mean that, like, sincerely. I mean, it was very stressful. But it passed, and we had a long bull market and a long run, in the financial world over this last decade. And so now we've got another kind of black swan event that is, really impacting all of us. And one of the things I really try to share with people through this period is be proud. Be proud of how you handle it. I look back on what I went through and can honestly say, like, if I really just get really authentic about it, then I am very proud of how I personally kind of handled myself with our clients, our investors, keeping in good communication with them, letting them know what was happening at every turn, and, just trying to be very kind of honest and authentic about everything that's going on and address it head on, not hide from it, really just kind of lean into those very challenging conversations. Very proud of how I handled that. But when I look back on, I'm not super proud of how I handled myself with my family. I took a lot of the stress home. I think a lot of people would give me kind of the, well, that's totally understandable, but, got high standards for myself, and I've got high standards for, people out there, that I want people to really push themselves through this period of time, to kind of look themselves in the mirror and kind of hold themselves 2-3 years out from now and look back on this period of time in that future, and just really make sure that the way you're treating yourself, the grace you're giving yourself, how you're treating your colleagues, how you're treating your clients, how you're treating your friends, how you're treating your family. Make sure it's something that, no one else will know. So it's a real self-responsibility thing. Make sure it's something you're going to look back on and feel really proud about. But I would tie that to is kind of set your intention through this period of time. We talk about intention a lot in our work, as you know, Karen, and intentionality is about really creating the future in the present, really putting yourself out there and thinking about that and driving towards it, making it something that you come from today and manifest it or produce it over time. So it's literally a place to come from, a little bit less of a place to get to. And so, I've really put out there for myself through this period. I'll just share mine, that I set a context or an intention early on when I started to see that this was going to be somewhat similar to 12, 13 years ago, to be a great partner. And what I meant by that is I just really wanted to index hard into helping as many people as I can through this period. Not like I got all the answers, or I don't mean anything like that, but I feel like because I've been through something like this, I've got a perspective, something to share. And so I kind of set this intention of being a great partner. And that's really helped me guide my day-to-day actions in terms of texting people and emailing people and calling people and just leaning in that way with people. So I hope that's not too much, but I feel like, you know, what I would say right now is it's an opportunity to handle a really hard situation that everybody's going through and be really proud about how you do it over this course of time.
That's awesome, Travis. Thanks a lot. So if I'm recapping, let me know if I missed something, but just that the idea is really to be intentional during this period. And if you're not sure on an intention as you're exploring, might be good advice to just ground yourself in being proud as a starting point.
That's great. Yeah. And if you're not sure about your intention, be okay with that. Lean into that a little bit. Maybe spend some time on a walk, or if you can't do that, just when you're, you know, at some point when you're alone, just think about how do you want to look back on this period of time and what would you want to say about how you handled it? And maybe use that as a starting point to set something for yourself, setting a compass through what's going to be, you know, some choppy waters here.
I love that, Travis. So how do you want to be what do you want to be able to say about this time when you're looking back on it? How do you want to feel about it and stuff? That's great. I think that's great.
Exactly.
Thank you very much for sharing your essential with us. We'll look forward to hearing what your thoughts are next time.
Thanks, Karen.
Bye.